Evelina never liked loud parties. Too many people, too much music, too many pointless conversations. She had only come because a friend insisted, you need to relax, meet someone, have fun. But an hour later, she was already standing on the balcony of an old house in Kutaisi, holding a glass of wine and staring at the city lights. And then she heard laughter. Soft, genuine, alive. Are you hiding from people? A voice asked behind her. Evelina turned around. A girl with gentle eyes and light hair, loosely draped over her shoulders, was standing there. You could say that, Evelina smiled. I'm Milana, the girl said, a friend of the hostess. And you? Evelina. Just lost in the noise. Then we're alike, Milana grinned. I've been pretending to look for the cat for 10 minutes just to avoid dancing. They both laughed, and the laughter broke the distance between them. There was something instantly familiar, like they had met somewhere long ago. They started talking about travel, work, and music. Evelina told her she had just come back from Bali, where she worked as a freelance photographer. Milana said she was writing a screenplay about two women who meet at the wrong time. What if they meet at the right time? Evelina asked. Then it's not a screenplay anymore, Milana replied softly. It's real life. And for a few seconds, silence fell between them, warm, electric, like something important had shifted. The next morning, Evelina got a message. Coffee at 10 near the old cafe on the corner. Still looking for the cat. From that day on, they saw each other often. They wandered through the streets of Tbilisi, laughing, taking photos, talking for hours. Milana had a thing for photographing old doors. She said each one hid a different story. Evelina photographed people, mostly Milana. Why do you keep taking pictures of me? Milana asked once. Because you're real. And real people aren't afraid to be seen like that? Only when someone looks at them with love. Milana paused, then whispered. Then keep looking. Evelina stepped closer, feeling the faint scent of her hair light, like a summer evening. Their eyes met, their breaths mingled, and their first kiss wasn't about passion. It was about quiet understanding, where words were no longer needed. After that, everything changed. They didn't need to define what they were. They just were. Morning coffee, long walks, rooftop sunsets, endless talks. Evelina finally felt that love could be peaceful. Milana realized it could be safe. One night they climbed to the roof of an old house, overlooking the river and the lights below. You know, Evelina said, sometimes I think you're not real, that I dreamed you up. Then dream me again every day, Milana replied softly. Just don't stop. Their life together was like a film without editing, real, imperfect, but beautiful. Evelina lived in impulses. Milana preferred balance. They argued sometimes about dishes, messages, moods, but always ended up side by side again, drinking tea in silence. Then Milana was offered a job in Vilnius, to work on her screenplay. I'm afraid that if I go, everything will fall apart, she said quietly. And if you don't go, something will break inside you, Evelina answered. Go. I'll wait. Milana left. For 2 long months, Evelina lived in rhythm with her absence. She worked, photographed, reread their old texts. Sometimes she caught the faint scent of Milana's perfume on the pillow and wanted to drop everything and run to her. But then Milana would call. I can hear your silence, she'd say. When Milana finally returned, she simply knocked on the door one morning, freezing hands, suitcase beside her. I realized the screenplay without you isn't life, it's just words. Evelina hugged her tightly. No questions. No explanations. Just a long kiss that held all the waiting, forgiveness, and love that had been quietly growing between them. 6 months later, Milana finished her screenplay. She called it When Breaths Align. It was about 2 women who meet by chance, learn to be themselves, and learn to stay. At the short film's premiere, the audience applauded. Evelina watched the screen, where flashes of their life appeared, the balcony, the coffee, the photo camera, the kiss at sunset. Milana gently squeezed her hand. This isn't a movie, she whispered. It's just us. Then let it never end, Evelina smiled. Later, they moved to Valencia. Milana wrote new projects and Evelina opened a small photo studio by the sea. Their mornings were filled with coffee, sunlight, and laughter about the seagulls stealing bread. Life was simpler, quieter, but deeply real. Sometimes they remembered that first party, noisy, crowded, chaotic, where out of dozens of faces, they somehow found each other. And each time, Evelina would whisper, "You know, I didn't believe in coincidences that night." "And now?" Milana asked. "Now I believe in us." And when the sun dipped into the horizon, they kissed again, softly, calmly, like the very first time, when the world had finally aligned with their breaths.